What is the main role of Security Council of United Nations as the America and Russia? These two countries, they humiliate the sovereignty of other countries like Afghanistan. And what is the role of United Nations in doing so? And is it that much powerful that it can displace America from these countries, or is it so much powerful that it can impose some kind of sanctions on America and Russia as well?
Thank you, Dishan, for a very nice question, but I think you were asleep when I was referring to that how these big powers are playing their role and how, things are shaping up. But anyway, I can reply. In Security Council, we have 5 permanent members, and anyone can veto. So when I say anyone can veto, there were many resolutions in which China has been supporting Pakistan to veto those recommendations which were being put forward by the US and some other countries like UK and France. So you call it the beauty, or you call it the limitation of the Security Council, that all the 5 members apparently are equal. And when one of them vetoes, that thing stops. That does not move. So that is the unfortunate part. But of course, in the helm of affairs, Russia falls far behind than the US. Russia is not that strong enough to counter the US stuff. China is the emerging power, so let's see when China will take over. Next.
Sir, Sajjad from second year, Sir, I have a question, sir, that UN gives human rights to all the people in the world. But say in North Korea, the human rights are being violated. So what does the UN do for those people?
Yes, thank you. As I said, that UN promotes human rights. UN does not give human rights. So rights, everyone has, when we were born, we had our rights. The countries who are members to the United Nations, they have signed a charter that they will uphold that human rights charter. But what has happened over the years, like we have seen India, how it has been violating the human rights in Kashmir. Same way, North Korea is also not upholding what it has signed. Having said that, UN is not a policeman. It's an advisory body which can draft the policies and guide the nations. Now, whether few countries will accept it, few will not accept it, it's up to them. But those who does not accept, they are being sanctioned. Like North Korea is under a severe economic and other sanctions, because of which the people are suffering actually. And I was attending one course in Geneva last year, January. And we were looking at that how these sanctions can become targeted sanctions so that it does not impact on the general public. So that discussion is already in the pipeline, that the sanctions should only affect the regime but not the public. But unfortunately it's difficult to separate. When one country is being sanctioned, the whole community suffers.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, can you tell me the Sir, my question is this, that United States was established in 1945 and Pakistan got independence after 2 years. And why they haven't saved the people as they saved the people of Sudan from migration?
Thank you. It's a very interesting question. Please have a seat. One, because United Nations has just been established 2 years before. Still the policies, procedures were in infancy. So when you are infant, you are learning how to walk. Same way, United Nations was in the process of emerging. And with the passage of time, things evolved, we improved. Like when I was in military college, we didn't have this nice swimming pool and this new block. So it has come up with the years to come. Same way, new modifications, new thoughts, new procedures, new rules have arrived. So that's the main change.
Assalamu alaikum. Secretary Umar from Jeddah. So my question is that the main purpose of the peacekeepers UN in the third world countries like Sudan and Syria Lebanon, it is peacekeeping. Sir, but common perception is said that that UN, it is providing basically security to the multinational countries which are extracting resources, minerals and diamonds and gold from Sudan and other countries like this, African countries. So is it true, sir?
Sorry, sir, repeat your last part.
So my point is that it is a common perception that UN peacekeepers, they are basically with the aim and providing security to the multinational companies which are there in Sudan and Sierra Leone, which are there to extract the resources.
Thank you. First, let me, because as you know, English is not our first language, so let me correct one word. Please never use the word third world countries. When you use a word of third world country or any country, people feel very offended. And whatever we are used to, when we go out, we use the same word. And people would slap you, frankly speaking. So just use the word underdeveloped countries or least developed countries. So that's one change in the English language. So that's how you should use it. Now coming back to your question, being a UN political affairs officer, it's very difficult for me to comment on your question. But I would say that whenever there is a perception built, there must be some reality behind that. So it varies from country to country, area to area, but not exactly. Sometimes perception is real, and sometimes perception is just made. If none, then I think we can just conclude. Thank you.
Now I request the Vetting Command Letting College Jailam.